All right, Greg. This is week 2 of the 6 weeks therapy program, and this session is all about educating you on what anxiety is, so you know when you're experiencing it. Because in order to overcome anxiety or anything else, any psychological or even physical stuff, first you gotta know about it. Like, even if it's a physical injury, you gotta know about it before you get into therapy, so you know how to treat it, you know how to help the therapy to help you get back to get quicker. Just the same way, in order to overcome anxiety, it's important to understand the problem properly, and that's where these lessons come in. And education one alone obviously won't cure performance and anxiety, but it will help you get the most out of your therapy. So it's important. I think it's important that we have this session before the practical session where we do all the tools, where we use all the tools. So, what's anxiety? Anxiety is a worry that is experienced due to the fear of failure. Athletes tend to think about concerns of underachieving from unpleasant thoughts. That might be the fear of falling or a bad performance, or fear of bad feedback from coaches and friends, fear of competitions from the event, fear of an injury occurring, and fear of making stupid mistakes that would give the opposing team undeserved points. Okay, this is valid reason. There are valid reasons why you should be anxious or you should be fearful, but that would stop you from performing to your potential. It will drag you back, and you can't perform to the best of your abilities. Even physically, you become crippled. Not literally, but your body won't work when you are negative. Your mind won't work when you're not relaxed. When you're anxious as well, situations are actually perceived as more dangerous than they really are, and more big than they actually are. Like in a game of frisbee, like your sport, when you step on the pitch, if it's a big stadium of fields, compared to the small one that you were in last week, you think it's a massive game and really scary and everything, but really it's just different teams in the same league playing on a different pitch. But it's just the way you perceive stuff, it's the way you interpret stuff, and then in them situations you become anxious. So for example, when playing in a final, you think it's the end of your career if you lose a game, where actually it's just a loss, and obviously it's a knock in the head, but you get back up again, probably in the next game or in the next season. But it doesn't mean that your career's gone or you're done or you'll be judged or whatever. No, it's a team game. And for this reason, it's important to be able to identify and recognize these scary and negative thoughts that cause you to be anxious and exactly what they feel like. And you gotta be able to challenge them, counteract them, and confronting and replacing them with realistic and positive thoughts that will empower you to overcome them. Or otherwise, stress will cause you to experience problems with concentration, and just your body and your mind automatically starts replacing mental images of success with failure, which will be doomed. What I mean by challenging the thoughts, you gotta identify them first. You gotta know what they are, and the symptoms, obviously, of anxiety are confusion. You'll be confused. Your mind will be all over the place. Negative thoughts. You'll be hating yourself, saying, "I can't do this. I'll fail. What if I drop the frisbee? What if when I jump, I don't catch the frisbee? What if I miss it? And what if I give the frisbee away? What if I hold on to the frisbee for 10 seconds long? I'm really not good. I'm crap. I will let my friends down. I will let my coach down. I will let my teammates down." Them sort of negative thoughts, they are symptoms of anxiety. Also, poor concentration, irritability, loss of confidence. I know your confidence levels in the test, they are thought to be really high, but It doesn't mean that you will not lose your confidence during when you're experiencing anxiety. Also, like I already mentioned, you'll also start imagining failure. You'll start getting images of failure in your head. So it's important to know these, and so when you are experiencing it, that you'll be able to identify it one by one, saying, "And this is anxiety." And then next, you got to be able to challenge these negative thoughts, which is what we'll be doing throughout the program. And what I mean by challenging negative thoughts is that knowing that these thoughts are not facts, they are just emotions. You gotta know they are they're not facts. Okay, you gotta know that they're not real. It's just something that you are perceiving. It's just something that you are judging almost. Like you see a situation, you automatically judge that situation and say, "This is how it's gonna be." It's not really, it hasn't happened, but it's just you judging it. You are just perceiving. You are just predicting it ish. So you've got all the power is yours, to change it all around. So when you challenge it, you gotta weigh the pros and cons of worrying or avoiding the things you fear. So if you worry, the pros and cons. One way is anxiety and thinking and worrying and being stressed out. It's not good because you'll be confused and your performance will go down. You won't be able to perform to the best of your abilities. So that's a good enough reason not to worry. And the cons are obviously it'll get you motivated and it'll get you back on your feet. So yeah. And you gotta determine the realistic chances that you are anxious about what will actually happen. Yeah. When you are fearing, when you are worrying and everything, when you're challenging the stuff, you are determining the realistic chances that when you are anxious about what will actually happen. So when you challenge it, you are saying this is gonna happen and this won't happen. This is real and this is not real. And you are just distinct groups. You're giving it distinct groups, so you know where you are. You know where you can start concentrating again. And the last bit is replacing negative thoughts with realistic thoughts, which is what we'll be practicing again throughout the program, because it's really important. This is one of the main ways you can overcome. And what I mean about replacing it is that replacing them with the new thoughts that are actually more accurate and more empowering and more positive and more real than the ones that you are facing. You can do this by saying calming and motivating statements, which we'll be going through throughout the program in week 3 or 4. And every time you are facing, and you do this every time you're facing or anticipating a situation that normally sends the anxiety level soaring. And doing this is actually easier said than done, obviously. When I'm saying it like this, when I'm telling you to replace the negative thoughts, it's easier me saying it than you doing it. Because often negative thoughts are part of a lifelong pattern of thinking, and it takes practice. You won't get it after the first session, or you won't get it after this first statement or the first day. But if you practice it over and over again, you'll see improvements and you'll see change, and the positive words will start, taking over instead of the negative. Which is why this program needs to be carried out not only in the therapy sessions but also at home, which is why I'll give you a little bit of homeworks here and there for you to do throughout the week before you come and see me the week after for the next session. So yeah, that's our session 2, week 2 done, and I will see you next week for the week 3 program. Thank you, Greg.